You don't need to be loud to be noticed. The truth is, the most magnetic presence in the room often doesn't say much at all. Real power doesn't chase attention. It doesn't beg to be seen. It simply is. A man who truly knows himself doesn't need applause to feel valuable. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. You see it in how he walks, how he holds his silence, how he's not moved by the noise around him. While others talk to be heard, he speaks only when necessary. And when he does, people listen. This isn't weakness, it's strength and restraint. Because when you stop trying to be noticed, that's when people really start paying attention. So ask yourself, are you chasing the spotlight or becoming the kind of man the spotlight can't ignore? Most people waste their energy trying to be seen. They talk too much, over-explain, try to impress. But real strength? It's quiet, it's focused. Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't waste time debating what a good man should be. Just be one." Let that sink in. A grounded man doesn't chase validation. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Why? Because he knows who he is. And that kind of certainty is magnetic. The moment you stop trying to be noticed, that's when people start noticing you. Not because you're loud, but because you move with purpose. Because you speak less, but mean more. In a world addicted to noise, restraint is power. So stop performing. Start becoming. That's how quiet men earn loud respect. You want to be the most magnetic man in the room? Stay calm, especially when no one else can. People are drawn to the one who doesn't flinch under pressure. He doesn't react to insults, doesn't rush to defend himself. He just stands, grounded, still, sure of himself. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And that's the truth. When everyone else is panicking, the man who stays steady becomes the anchor. In a world that's loud, chaotic, and emotional, composure is power. It tells people you're in control, and that makes them trust you, follow you, respect you. So the next time the storm hits, don't chase calm, be the calm. The more you speak, the less your words mean. That's not just a saying, it's human nature. We chase what we don't fully understand, and that's why mystery is powerful. Lao Tzu said, "Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know." When you keep a part of yourself hidden, you create space for curiosity to grow. People lean in, they wonder, they notice. But the moment you start explaining yourself to everyone, you dilute your value. Not everyone deserves access to your mind, your thoughts, your story. Let silence do the work. Let presence replace performance. Because mystery isn't about hiding who you are. It's about knowing that the right people will see you, even in silence. Every time you give in to distraction, you trade potential for comfort. You scroll, you binge, you drift, and piece by piece, you forget who you're supposed to become. Seneca said, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." That hits hard because it's true. Men who chase pleasure become average, but men who follow purpose, they build empires. Purpose is the compass. It keeps you grounded when temptation pulls. It turns discipline into fuel, and every action into an investment in your future. So ask yourself, does this move me closer to who I want to be or further away? Because greatness isn't built in comfort. It's built in the choices no one sees. Seeking approval? That's a weakness. When your value depends on what others think of you, you're handing them control. But real confidence comes from within. It's about knowing who you are, not needing someone else to validate it. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. That's the key. The opinions of others, they don't define you. A man who's controlled by the need for approval is a man who's lost. But a man who is indifferent to praise and criticism, he walks with quiet strength. True self-worth is knowing that no matter what anyone says, you are already enough. Stop explaining yourself. Start living on your own terms. A truly powerful man doesn't need to speak to be noticed. He walks into a room and everything changes, without saying a word. It's his posture, his stillness, his controlled energy that demands attention. He doesn't try to stand out. He simply is. Nietzsche once said, "Silence is worse. All truths kept silent become poisonous." There's power in silence. The way you carry yourself speaks louder than any words you can say. When you are grounded, calm, and deliberate in every movement, you don't need to seek respect. It's given to you. Your presence alone, unwavering and strong, becomes your voice. True strength comes from knowing when to walk away. It's not about holding on to people, deals, or situations that no longer serve you. The strongest men are those who don't beg, who don't fear loss. They know that they are the prize. Seneca once said, "The brave man is the free man." And freedom? It lies in your ability to let go, to not cling to anything that diminishes your value. When you understand your worth, you realize that nothing outside yourself can define you. You don't need to hold on to what's toxic or unimportant. Letting go isn't weakness. It's a declaration of strength. When your emotions control you, you lose control of everything else. Anger, fear, frustration. They're the chains that bind you. The moment someone can provoke you, they've won. As Epictetus wisely said, "He who can make you angry has power over you." The real strength lies in your ability to remain calm, especially when the world around you is in chaos. Imagine standing firm in the midst of a storm. That calmness, it's your power. When you master your emotions, you master yourself and the room around you. You become unshakable, the silent force in a world full of noise, and that's where true influence begins. The most captivating presence is the one built on self-mastery. It's not about showing off or seeking attention. It's about living with purpose and discipline. When you control your emotions, when you're unwavering in the face of chaos, you radiate a quiet strength. This is the power of true confidence, the kind that doesn't need words to be felt. It speaks through your actions, your poise, and your resilience. You don't need to demand respect. When you carry yourself with integrity, purpose, and calm, respect follows naturally. You become the person others look to, not because you're loud, but because your presence is undeniable. In the end, true attraction isn't about impressing others. It's about commanding your own life.